Welcome to Fourth and Forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network. Join hosts Dan, Richie, and TD as they break down the latest news and storylines across the NFL, featuring game predictions, breakdowns, heated debates, live Patreon callers, and everything in between. Catch Fourth and Forever every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Fourth and Forever. Boys, you know what we got to do? We just need to start the show at 2 p.m. That's what it is. That's an easy fix, I think. I think we transition over to 2 p.m. I think that's what we have to do.
I think so, because we can't be sitting back waiting on Richie every time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dan and I are sitting here, and TD comes in late. He's like, "Oh man, I was in the AFC East one." I'm like, "AFC East one? We're on fourth and fifth."
I was in the AFC East.
That was clumsy of me. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sitting there like, let me
in the building, man. And dude, holy hell. Well, guys, we're definitely going to be announcing some schedule changes because it's clear as day that we cannot make it on time at 1 p.m. EST. So 2 p.m. might be better, and Luis says 2 is better anyway. Who cares? I love it. I hope you do. Richie, what's going on with you, man? How's life?
Life is great. We got a big day in football, previewing all the divisional games. Harbaugh made his decision. TD thought he really had a chance, which is so funny. And then we're going to get into all things NFL here on Fourth and Forever. The vibes are high. I'm going to see Marty Supreme again tonight, so I'm pumped.
Again. Dude, you know what, man? Like, you regularly go see movies twice. And so I've noticed that about you with our friendship. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love movies, and I think the first watch is so much different than the second watch on any movie. The first watch, you're downloading everything for the first time. You're reacting to it in real moments. The second watch, you can appreciate things. You're not like on the edge of your seat wondering what's going to happen next. You already know what happens. So you get to appreciate the filmmaking process in the second watch. That's why I like to see it a second time.
Someone said he saw Oppenheimer 8 times, I think, with Danger Zone.
Wow.
I saw it in IMAX. 8? No, I saw Oppenheimer like 3 times in IMAX. I saw Dune like 4 times in IMAX. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying everybody should do these things. I know I'm a weirdo with it, but hey.
No, dude. It's definitely okay, especially once you're in this business. Sometimes, so we've been fortunate enough to turn our hobbies right into careers. And now I've been kind of trying to figure out, what are my hobbies now? Because hobbies used to be football. Now football is my job. So, what can I do to enjoy myself, right? And I've picked up golf. So that's been pretty fun. And so I've been doing that, quite a bit of that on the weekends. And, that's about it, dude. It's just golf for me, all right, is hobbies so
that's
far.
TD, what up? Hobby.
Yeah, it's not bad. TD, what up?
Another beautiful day. I'm a movie junkie myself, and I don't watch things 8 times, but I am a movie junkie. It's what I love. Even as a young man, I used to go to the movies on a Saturday by myself. People used to say that's weird. You go.
I love going to a movie by yourself.
Yeah, I would go and I watch 2 or 3 movies. So
I've gone to a movie by myself plenty of times. There's nothing weird about that. Okay.
Well, when you become married, that's like something's weird about it. So
hard to do it now that I got a girlfriend. That's
true.
For sure.
So what's slept on too? Like, my boys used to give me a lot of shit for going out to dinner or going out to lunch by myself. I love that. I love going out to lunch or dinner by myself.
You need your alone time, man.
I love it, dude.
Alone time.
I love it. I would much rather, just sit at the bar, great service, sit there, just chill, and enjoy a good meal.
Yeah,
I do that shit all the time, and I'm not apologizing for it.
I used to do that too, Dan. Like a lot of stuff I used to just do on my own, and it was like perfectly normal and fine. Until I found myself in a movie one day and, the girl I was dating just showed up next to me like, hey, I had to make sure you were here by yourself. I'm like, huh?
Oh, she thought that you were lying, that you're going by yourself, but you're going with the date.
You realize, maybe it isn't normal. I don't know.
And I'm weird, bro. Like, I love going to see all the new movies. Like, I just saw, you hear about the movie Primal or Primate?
No.
It's about literally a chimpanzee getting rabies and killing everybody. Like, like it's stupid movies like that. Like I'll go see a bad movie in the theater and enjoy it. I just love the experience.
And so that kind of sounds like Cocaine Bear. You remember that?
It really is another Cocaine Bear.
Dumb really movie. Is. I loved every second of it.
High on cocaine, apex predator.
You're telling me the apex predator high on cocaine. Dude, great movie. Cocaine Bear. Anyway, let's talk football.
Movie reviews coming soon.
Let's talk football. Guys, as always, I ask each and every single one of you as you're coming in to hit that thumbs up sign for us. More importantly, roll call yourselves in the chat. We want to understand how far our fan base truly extends. What corner of the globe are you watching from today? Do not be shy. And also put a 1 in the chat if this is your very first live stream with us over on 4th and Forever. I feel like we probably scared a lot of people away once we got into Cocaine Bear. But anyway, guys, while you're doing all of that, and I expect all of you to roll call in the chat, a giant shout out to Sleeper. Sleeper is the #1 player prop platform on the face of the planet right now. While you're constructing your parlays, very simple process. Pick anywhere between 2 to 5 players. If you predict them accurately, you could walk away a big winner. And the best part about it is that they are giving you $20 just for signing up. So your first parlay practically on Sleeper. Go check out Sleeper, #1 player prop platform, and say that you want to do any research within your player prop picks. I've been utilizing a lot of it. RotoWire, your #1 player prop research tool. Not a lot of work needs to go into it either. You simply just log into their website and they give you locks for overs and unders each and every single week. Not just football, baseball, hockey, something for everybody over on RotoWire. Shout out to our proud partners. Let's get into business. I want to see where my boys are at. We have Lancaster, New York is in the building. Miami, Florida is in the building. South Carolina, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm watching from Tony's Kitchen, King Lowski. London, UK, Lewiston, New York is in the building. We have our first super chat of the day. Zombievers. Watch Zombievers, 10 out of 10. Zombievers, sign me up. Charleston, South Carolina. I am Let's Freaking NY Giants got their head coach. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. We are about to open it up with Harbaugh on this episode. Old Town, Florida. Oregon is in the building. Connecticut, New York City, New Smyrna Beach, Florida. God, we're all over the place. Canes about to make Mendoza stock go down. Go Canes. Why you always got to make it about Miami sports, Flick Shorts? Always.
He makes it about college sports.
Always got to make it about, like, college players. Like, come on, man. Stay. You didn't even tell us where you were tuning in from. Follow directions, Flick Shorts. I'm just kidding. What's up? How you doing? TD. John Harbaugh has decided to go with the New York Giants. I know that he was your #1 prospect, but I got to tell you something about John Harbaugh, man. I genuinely feel that he only would have raised your floor. I don't think that he would have been able to get you close to your ceiling. I actually like Minter, who is coming in to Miami, who is interviewing today over Harbaugh. But thoughts on him passing on Miami, and also additional thoughts on what you think he's going to do for the New York Giants.
And can I add a third layer to that?
Please.
Your thoughts of Harbaugh not even considering the Dolphins as a finalist. He even want to meet with them. So I'm curious because all I heard from TD and Dolphins fans,
and so I have an answer for
McDaniel, that. Harbaugh didn't even entertain them as an option. They had the Titans on his list before the Dolphins. So, like, what does that tell you about that job? And I'm just genuinely asking. Like, that's not a troll question. I'm just curious.
Well, it tells me I wasn't right about Harbaugh. I was so wrong. I thought he was a good coach. I wish him nothing but failure now. I hope that he doesn't win 5 games in 5 years with the Giants.
He really thought it was a done deal when he saw McDaniel fired. He's like, we get Harbaugh.
Yeah, he may have not
going to make him a blank check.
Yeah, he may have not considered the Dolphins, but I know that the Dolphins at least put it out there to him that they were willing to provide him the things he needed. He just, I guess it's something about Miami and Stephen Ross that he just not vibing with. We would have loved to have Harbaugh in the building, but he didn't want to come to us. He went to the Giants. He chose them. They went red carpet for him. They made every move. They did everything to get him in the building, and they won the sweepstakes. And here the Dolphins are lonely now. And this is what was feared to begin with. This is why our owner hates this process, because he's made some big offers in the past and tried to bring big name individuals here, and it's kind of embarrassing when they tell you no. You know, it's like talking to that girl. It's like, you know, I think you're beautiful. I want to get to know you and maybe start a relationship. And she's like, oh no, you know, that can be a real blow to the ego. So that's what happened in Miami. But you know what? There's plenty of fish in the sea, and the Dolphins are bait.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. So me and Richie, we were talking about what is the most attractive head coaching like landing spot. Like what is like the most sought after job in our opinion?
Let's rank them.
And I actually put that Giants team very high on my list, surprisingly enough, because you're Harbaugh, right? So are you about to go to a team that literally is going to go from rock bottom, start at rock bottom next year and rebuild from the beginning? Or are you going to go to a team that has a second-year quarterback that showed promise, a true wide receiver number one right within Neighbors, solid running back in Cam Scatterbo, insane defensive front? All they need to do is perhaps 2 off seasons focusing on their secondary and focusing on their offensive line, and you're probably going to have a shorter time period of being able to make that team a contender and therefore improve your job security. Or would you rather build from scratch, where I think Miami is going to next year, and risk potentially being fired in 3 to 4 years once you don't see any traction at all? So it made sense to me why Harbaugh chose New York, because they have those pieces. That's me.
All those pieces the Miami Dolphins lack, by the way.
Yeah, I was more looking at the fact of, you know, there may be a lot of pieces there, but sometimes people want to, you know, paint their own picture instead of going off of a pre-existing picture and trying to fine tune it. Because, you know, sometimes the foundation of of a place that already has things in place can be fool's gold. Like, for example, what if Jackson Dart really isn't the guy? What if he you know has shown you kind of a ceiling of what he is? Not saying that's the case, by the way. But what if he has? You run that risk of fixing everything just for 2 or 3 years from now to realize Jackson Dart ain't it, and waste all that time. So I was banking on the fact that he would be able to come to Miami and get to make all the decisions and picks so that we know that he gets his guys and he's really responsible for what he picks. But that's not the case.
Now, can I push back on that? Can I push back on that? Just from examples around the NFL where I don't think coaches really care about handpicking their guys. If there's a young quarterback in place, that's attractable. Look at the Chicago Bears. Do you think Ben Johnson's like, I want to get my own guy, or I'm going to take Caleb Williams to the promised land? Liam Cohen looked at the Jaguars. He probably looked at Trevor Lawrence and says, you know what? I believe in this guy. Mike Vrabel looked at Drake May. So I think that if you have a young quarterback on the roster that was drafted at the top,
Quinn Ewers, man,
it brings coaches to that team because the coach is analyzing them. You're like, you know what? They're just missing the infrastructure. They're just missing the coaches. I don't think it's an ego thing where like, I need to get my guy in the building, right? There's instances where that is the case because maybe that the quarterback is not good. Quinn Ewers, let's be honest.
Hey, Tua's in the building.
Like, you know, if you want to make this about the Dolphins, go ahead. But the Dolphins don't have that. And you were like, yeah, well, he can handpick his own quarterback. How? You don't have a top pick. You have no money. Like, you have Quinn Ewers. It's not an attractable destination at all. So I think that, you know, handpicking your own guy, he just handpicked his guy. He picked Jackson Dart over Cam Ward, over Michael Penix, over Fernando Mendoza with the Raiders. You know, like he had his hand.
Richie, Brian Daboll picked Jackson Dart over a few guys too.
Yeah, he did.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously.
And they got him
fired.
Yeah.
So was
that getting fired.
Yeah. So his handpicked. But like looking at all of the openings, let's put ourselves in the shoes of a potential head coach candidate. What are the most attractive places to go? I'm probably going to shock you with some of my picks, surprisingly.
So am I.
Yeah. Like as far as vacancies, like if you were a head coach, like what's your top 3 that like you would like to go to? For me,
Tennessee.
Number one would have been Atlanta. They have such a young and talented defense. And as far as that offense is concerned, of course, you do have questions at the quarterback position. You probably need to go back to the drawing board, maybe ride with Kirk Cousins potentially, but everywhere else on that squad is figured out. And I think a lot of what was wrong with Atlanta last year was on coaching rather than personnel. So with Atlanta's number one for me, surprisingly enough. And so the Cleveland Browns position is a hell of a lot more attractive to me than most people are willing to give it credit for. They have it figured out on the defensive side of the football, and this previous draft class was stellar. With Andrew Berry, did an incredible job. You have a GM that's clearly hitting home runs, building the team from youth. Yes, you have that Deshaun Watson contract, which is probably going to kill you for one more season right before you can finally move on. But I like the pieces that they have to where I think that I genuinely would be able to get them to a better place here in about 2 to 3 years. Baltimore, I'd kind of stay away from Baltimore, to be completely honest with you. I'm not sure if I would want to. Because number one, like your two most important weapons are well into your 30s, right? So you have Derrick Henry, who probably has, how many more years of quality, like effectiveness? 1, 2. I'd probably stay away from that. Have a lot of guys that are also going to be sort of aging out of not only playing, but their contracts as well. I'd probably stay away from I'd probably stay away from both Baltimore and Pittsburgh for that exact reason. With Pittsburgh, that's going to be a cluster for the next 2 years, I would say. I don't think they should have gotten rid of Tomlin, but I don't know. We'll see. So 1 was Atlanta, 2 was Giants for me, 3 was the Cleveland Browns as far as most attractive in my eyes. Rich.
Yeah, I think that you bring up interesting points. I have don't sleep on Cam Ward, man. I may hop on that train. TD was on it, and then he abandoned him. And then I'm hopping on it in front of him.
When did I abandon him?
You abandoned it. We talked about it a few weeks ago.
I didn't abandon it. I just said there's still a lot more to be desired. The team overall around him is a mess.
Yeah, but you were saying like the whole pocket thing, abandoned to this and that, comparing him to Caleb Williams. That, like, does a coach look at him as an attractable quarterback? I think that Cam Ward showed me a lot this rookie season where he showed those flashes. And I think that you see who's interviewing with them, Mike McCarthy. I wonder if a Mike McCarthy would be good for his development, or Stefanski, or they definitely got to get an offensive mind. So Tennessee's an interesting guy just because of Cam Ward. Atlanta, for sure. Pittsburgh is like the ultimate. I'm really excited to see where Pittsburgh goes because they haven't had a coach that they hired that gets fired in forever. Quick.
So if they need a special head coach, a really good one, say that Pittsburgh wants to maintain consistency and last, like for the most part, because like you're filling big shoes. It's been 4 coaches since 1969. Pittsburgh has been built on consistency at the head coaching position.
And also,
I can't even begin to imagine what they.
Do you know what organization I am getting so much more respect for? They're known already as one of the better run organizations in football, but the Baltimore Ravens. You want to know why? Did you see any of the press conference with their owner?
Yeah,
I did.
Usually fans hate owners, right? Yeah. Like when you hear them talk, you're like, shut up. Like, but that's an owner, bro, that you love and that you want to go play for. He's giving Lamar Jackson, like his answer about if Lamar Jackson's going to be involved was just absolutely perfect. Yeah. Like, I have all the power, but he's going to give me his opinions, and I want him to be in on meetings and give me his opinions on all that stuff. And I just feel like hearing that owner, the way he presented himself in that press conference, it's a good thing because there's not a lot of owners that's like that. So I got a lot of respect for Baltimore, and I'm curious to see where they go at a head coach.
Yeah, I'm on that train
too. Ask you about that. Mm-hmm.
My top 3, and then I'll elaborate on that, Richie. My top 3 would probably be Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and then I would go with the Browns. But yeah, I was blown away when I heard that press conference because people, I'm a fan of Brian Flores, by the way. And everything that happened in Miami, I'm the type of person I feel like I empathize and understand what he went through and want to see him back on his feet because some things were done wrong, in my opinion, towards him. But when the owner said, like Richie said, Lamar will be a part of the process, it was just funny. Like, it's not just a formality. He said he literally called Lamar because he found out a rule in the NFL, which he avoided. If you interview one person, you're required to be a part of every interview. You cannot skip any as an owner. That's a rule that he said that he found out. So he said, well, I don't want to be a part of the first round. Give me your top 5, and then I'll be a part of that. But he said he called Lamar and said, listen, if I'm going to be in on these things, then you need to be in on them too. Buckle up, get down here. I can send my jet, whatever you need, and get down here and be a part of these interviews with me. But he came across as he's a big fan of the team that he owns. But one of the most intriguing things was they met with Brian Flores right before that press conference. And he named all the things he was looking at in the head coach, and it bled Brian Flores. Not only that, he literally said, I'm also not going to let somebody's previous head coach experience at another organization impact my decision on them being a head coach of my organization. So that was very interesting because you got guys like Flores and Saleh that kind of fits that bill. So it was just interesting to me. But I think that Brian Flores might be the next head coach of the Baltimore Ravens or the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because Pittsburgh, as soon as they fired Tomlin, Flores was the second one that they requested.
And Steelers just make sense to me, right? Mm-hmm. Steelers just make sense to me, especially, yeah.
What if both offered it to him? What would be the best place for him to go?
Where would you rather go?
Where should Brian Flores pick if two division rivals offer him an opportunity to be the head coach? For me, it's Baltimore. Because on the offensive side of the football, you already have weapons, which isn't your strongest suit, and you can turn that defense into a crazy thing. Yeah. But Pittsburgh, he has history. He was there a few years ago helping Tomlin as like an assistant.
Yeah. Say as far as landscape, and so I know that Lamar is getting older, but at least you have a quarterback, right? And so at least you have a quarterback. Like with Pittsburgh,
yeah,
and they haven't had one since Ben Roethlisberger retired. And while your defense is still effective, like from a personnel perspective, all of them are old as shit. Yeah, all right. I'm pretty sure that their defense's average age was like 28 or 29. So I'd probably go to Baltimore.
Yeah,
I'd probably go to Baltimore. And so have some really good pieces on that defense. I think Brian Flores, would go crazy for. But
in their win now mode, and if you look at it, if he can turn that defense into a top 5, yeah.
You want to know like what organizations I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole? The Arizona Cardinals, number 1.
Would nobody even talk about them?
Would not touch the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, the betting favorite for Arizona is Robert Saleh. That poor guy. I hope he says no, man. Listen, I want him to succeed. Saleh, don't go there. Don't go there, brother. Trust me.
Saleh's not going to succeed at a place that needs to be built from scratch. Saleh would succeed with a place like Baltimore or somewhere that has establishment on offense.
Has Saleh had an interview with the Ravens or the Steelers yet or no?
I'm pretty sure the Ravens are requesting to interview him.
Yeah.
Okay. Saleh and Flores, I have a feeling they're going to be the Ravens and the Steelers head coach. I don't know who's
another thing about Brian Flores. Do you know that he's getting interviewed by Washington to be their defensive coordinator? Which I find interesting that he's even entertaining defensive coordinator interviews when he already is a defensive coordinator for Minnesota. So that makes me wonder what's going on in Minnesota.
I don't think things are the best in Minnesota. There were rumblings. See, Brian Flores is the type of guy, he's going to stand on business. He believes what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And if you just sit there like a puppy and don't say anything, then you're contributing to the problem. He's a very vocal person. And there were rumblings at one point when KOC's offense was just putrid this year, where Brian would talk to him about making certain changes. And it was kind of like, nah. And they end up going with Flores' way. And you see what happened at the back end of the season. They rattled off like 6 out of 7 wins or something. But there was a little, at least there was a rumor that there was a little contention in the middle of the season. And finally, they made that little switch that Flores wanted to do, and then the team just start taking off and winning. But again, that's speculation out there. I hear a lot of people talking about it, that things may have not have been as pretty as they looked. So, he's not going to sit on his hand. He don't like losing. He's not going to sit on his hand and accept losing. He's going to give his 2 cents of what he thinks is right and wrong. And that's what is a strength and a downfall for him, so that's why he's still interviewing for DC jobs too, because there might be a better place for him to show who he is.
Second team for me, wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. No. Zero.
Really?
Yes.
With Tom Brady and the first overall pick with Mendoza coming in?
Zero question. Number one, job security, right? Like Pete Carroll had that dumpster fire of an organization personnel-wise for 1 year, and they kicked him to the curb in 1 year. So if I'm looking for an organization that's patient and that is going to let me actually build the team and be reasonable and understand that it's not coaching, it's a historically awful offensive line and zero secondary, then that's going to turn me off. And while Mendoza looks solid, it's got to be tough for the Las Vegas Raiders to build an entire offensive line in one offseason. He's probably going to look decent.
The Bears did it.
And so the Bears did it, but that was in year 2.
That was aggression.
No, that was in year 2. What the Bears did with their offensive line is the reason why they are right here, right now.
Yeah, but exactly my point. And Ben Johnson came to the Bears and traded for Joe Thuney, traded for this guy, built it. Like they made like 4 huge trades, and all of a sudden the offensive line was built. So that's very rare, though. It's not easy to do what the Bears did to fix their offensive line in a year. Because remember, Caleb Williams' first season as a rookie, the offensive line was abysmal.
Yeah, I know.
It took Ben Johnson's coaching staff and new personnel to get it to where it is now.
So would you touch the Dolphins organization, Rich?
Listen, man, I may sound like a hater, but I want TD to tell me, because
if TD was the head coach, and please be objective, would you touch the Dolphins organization? You're Tony
from my
Dow.
perspective, this is the Miami Dolphins. You got the Tua situation that you're going to have to get rid of him, or you eat his contract and let him be the bridge this year. That's a headache. You got the caps problem. You don't have a quarterback. You have Quinn Ewers. That's a late round pick that you're going to try to see something in. Tyreek Hill's situation. You have what players on that team are you excited about for the future? Devon Achane, who, by the way, is due to get paid. You have Jalen Waddle. All right, that's a solid piece at the wide receiver spot. You got okay pieces on the offensive line to be excited about. On the defensive side of the ball, you got like aging players, not a lot of young studs to be hopeful for. Yes, Chop Robinson is a piece on the edge, and you got that first-round pick last year inside. What about the Miami Dolphins organization is attractable, TD, for a head coach?
So
what
am I missing?
It's a house in South Beach and nice weather.
Pretty much. But if you're looking to take a shortcut, we are not the destination. But if you're looking to build something special and have your name all over it and build a reputation, and then the Dolphins, there is no better place.
So are you predicting this year to be like a similar year that the Jets went through in terms of just like ripping it to shreds? It's a bridge year. Well, is that what this coach is coming into?
That's going to depend on who the coach is, but I would hope it is, Richie, because what the Dolphins need to do is bring in somebody who has the fire to want to make a name for themselves and build this thing now that Harbaugh's out of there and Tomlin's not coaching. You got to get somebody who's willing to take the time to build it. And the reason why is because you have to understand that next year, not that it should, but it needs to be a throwaway year. You come in, you cut Tua post June 1st to spread it out over 2 years. You restructure Tyreek to a really cheap deal or cut him post June 1st. You get rid of Bradley Chubb. You trade away every asset that you possibly have. You trade away Brooks, who's an all-pro this year, who was phenomenal. You might get something special for him. He's about 28 years old, linebacker who balled out this year. You trade Achane if you can, because by the time you're ready to compete, those wheels are the thread's going to start to wear. You trade Waddle because he's, and I hate to say this, but Waddle's overpaid. I mean, making 28 a year or whatever it is, the truth be told, he doesn't impact the game enough for that. You know, he's a great player, but he could be better on another team that's ready right now.
So is he a number one or number two?
He's a number one for the Dolphins, but he'll be a number two in many places, unless it's a desperate team. Like Buffalo, they could use him as their number one. You got Josh Allen. The threat of him alone is going to open the field for Waddle and Cook. That would be crazy. But
yes. Give him to that.
It's probably not gonna happen. But you trade everyone that you can that's under 4 years, that's over 4 years in this league, and you get as much draft capital as you possibly can for 2027, and you allow the new coach and the general manager to play 2026 out and say who can rise above this roster and show that they belong for the future. And that's where you start. The only players you keep right now is the tight end room, the backup running backs to HN, who are solid too, and Patrick Paul, your left tackle, and all the younger guys that aren't playing great right now, like Chop Robinson and Kenneth Grant and all of them, see if they can also develop. These are the only people you keep, and you go in the draft this year and you draft more guys, and understand that this roster just isn't going to be put together very well, and we're not trying to. And we will get a top 5 pick. And then you go find your quarterback and you go find some things to complement the team, and you keep building through the draft. And in 3 years, we'll be in a much better place. We'll be competing.
It is wild how parallel the Dolphin situation is today to what the Jets were involved in last year.
Yeah.
Very new GM, similar. New head coach, and we had Aaron Rodgers to make a decision on with the contract, just like you have Tua to make a decision on. We cut Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You're going to cut Tua, eat that money.
You traded Sauce, you traded Quinnen. This is the exact blueprint the Dolphins need to follow. The exact. And anything short of that, falling in love with HN, falling in love with Waddle, and I already know they are. They're not going to trade them, and it's going to really piss me off.
You don't know what the new GM thinks yet.
I know. I just, man, it's so unfair for me to put things like this on a new GM. But man, we've just seen it so much. Matter of fact, I want to be negative about it so that if he doesn't, I can be proud. So don't take my negativity away on this, because it's going to protect me if they don't from like crashing. Okay. But I hope that they do exactly what the Jets did.
Damn, man.
Let's see if you can get 3 firsts for this next draft.
Think about the Jets right now. They get to go in the draft and get a top quarterback, even though it ain't none. Anyway, they get to go in the draft and they have all of this ammunition and all of these assets that they get to really build and complement that team. And for Aaron Glenn, the way he wants to run it, they are going to make the gradual improvements year after year. And 3 years from now, they should be competing like any other team at the top if they did it right. So we'll see. But
don't forget about the 27 ammunition too, which is more than this year. We have more ammo in 27.
That's why I said in 3 years they'll be competing at the top with everyone else.
But the big question is that every Jets fan wants to know: is that with Aaron Glenn or a new coach? When we figure that part out,
that's the dangerous thing, because sometimes you use a guy like Aaron Glenn for the dirty work, and then you bring in someone to benefit from all the work he built. So that's the dirty work in the NFL.
Yeah, and if you ask 10 Jets fans or 100 Jets fans their thoughts of Glenn, 90% of them would say, get him out of here, one and done. So, not good stuff coming out of Jets land.
Damn.
Well, let's preview these divisional games real quick, man. We gotta get our predictions.
Dude, 35 minutes in. And
I thought TD knew ball, bro. He took the Steelers Monday night.
Dude, we all took the Steelers Monday night.
No, just TD did.
Yeah, we all.
Took it too.
I took them, dude. A lot of people took the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. A lot of people did, but you know what? The Houston Texans defense is too good. They're just too damn good, man. Just how it is. All right, dude. Let's talk about the games, man. Start off with the first one.
Divisional round, baby. 4 big games. The first seed coming off their buys. Ooh. Dan Mitchell.
Let's lock in.
I know we missed TD last night in the AFC's roundtable. So, TD, why don't you start off with your preview of this Bills and Broncos game?
Buffalo Bills, Denver Broncos.
This is where I kind of get proud and very happy and excited. Because the Broncos are about to destroy Buffalo. And finally, I said I'm going to be honest in these playoffs. That's why I picked the Bills last week. Y'all going to beat them. It's Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence will rear his ugly head. But Denver is sitting back just preparing, and they're about to beat the Buffalo Bills. And it's not going to be bad. I got it like 34-24. It'll get bad at the very end, but it's a better team. They're more complete, in my opinion. I just feel like they have a little bit more. You know how I like ranking things 1 to 10, every facet of the team. The Bills just set with a whole bunch of 7s and 8s with Josh Allen and Cook being the 9 and 10. But the Broncos just full of 8s. They're full of 8s, and I don't even know many 9s or 10s on the roster. They're just full of 8s. They're not going to break anywhere. They're just going to play their solid game and keep on going at it. And it's going to take one of those rare, ultimate, superstardom, crazy, oh my gosh, games from Josh Allen that you didn't see it coming. Like, what he's capable of. He's capable of fantastic games. But maybe once every year he has that, man, oh my gosh. He already blew that in Baltimore early in the season. So, the Bills don't have a shot in this. The Broncos will run the ball down their throat. They play good, sound defense, and it's going to be harder to come about offense for Buffalo. Buffalo's going to want to make this a punt fest, but I think Bo Nix in the playoffs turns into a little bit of a different guy. He's a little bit more electric, extending plays, improvising, and they're at home. They're at home.
I hate today.
And this is what they've earned.
I hate today.
See, Dan, why you got to get on the offensive when you hear the truth?
No. And so I have a question for you. How many career playoff games has Bo Nix had?
One this week.
Okay. How did he play?
This weekend.
Last playoff game.
Phenomenal this weekend. He's phenomenal this weekend.
He played in the playoffs last year.
Just once.
I'm just trying to.
You said that it turns on for him in the playoffs, and he's only ever had one game, and it was against the Buffalo Bills, and he was awful.
Dan Mitchell, this is year 2. This is year 2.
He was awful.
This is year 2.
If you are going to say, look, there's just okay, first off, you're talking about a quarterback like you're just like, oh yeah, like Josh Allen's gonna have to go nuclear. He only goes nuclear in the playoffs.
Oh my! Nah, I'm not.
He only goes nuclear in the playoffs. It's every single round. Wild card divisional, he goes crazy.
This is gonna have to be a new level of nuclear.
So let me tell you why Bo Nix is in trouble. Right? He is going to have a very difficult time with how Sean McDermott and this Buffalo Bills defense disguises coverages. I think that he's still young, and it doesn't matter how good of a coach you have. It relies on your quarterback to be able to process post-snap. And what the Buffalo Bills have been doing from their secondary side of things has been haunting the minds of quarterbacks all year long. His average depth of target is toward the bottom of the league. He takes the underneath stuff. He doesn't go to his first read. He goes to his second read more often than his first. But when Buffalo starts rotating those safeties post-snap, when they're lining up 9 guys in the box, and at any given moment, they could send 3, 4, or 5 and drop a bunch of random other guys in coverage, it's going to be rough for Bo Nix. As far as the Denver Broncos defense is concerned, let's not forget that this Buffalo Bills offensive line bullied them last year in the playoffs. They virtually have the exact same defensive line minus Dre Greenlaw, and the Buffalo Bills have the exact same offensive line. This defense is top of the league in missed tackles. They are top of the league with the defensive pass interferences. This Buffalo Bills team is going to be spamming man duo, and they're going to be overpowering their undersized defensive front. It's exactly what happened last year. And I don't like doubling down on that case. with each and every single year, but it's literally the exact same personnel versus the exact same personnel plus Dre Greenlaw. I think this game will be close, and so I'm thinking more so 28-20 Buffalo Bills. I don't trust Bo Nix, and I think Sean McDermott's going to confuse the hell out of them.
So is this not arguably the best defense in the NFL?
From a box score, yeah. But like box scores say the collective. Like what I care about is situational. How are they situational? Situationally, and so they struggle against slot receivers and tight ends, right? Situationally on the run game, and they struggle against man duo run concepts and power run concepts, and that's all Buffalo does. So while they are a very good defense on paper, collectively, situationally, it just goes exactly where Buffalo has their strengths in.
Dan, do you know that there's only one category that they're not top 5 in? And that's just fourth down conversion.
With box score stats you're talking about.
No, box score, opponents' points per game. Opponents fourth. Opponents' yards per game second. Opponents points per play third. Yards first.
That's
third down conversion second.
But that's collective, right?
First in the red zone.
So that's collective, right?
The Bills thrive.
So when it comes into it,
real resistance.
So the Denver Broncos defense is allowing 4.8 yards per carry against man duo, right? And that's something Buffalo does. Everything else is like 3.1, 3.2. While the secondary in Denver is very impressive, guess what? They're 27th in the NFL against slot receivers. They're 19th in the NFL against tight ends. That's Buffalo's strengths. They're locked down on the perimeter wide receivers, but guess what? We don't have perimeter wide receivers. We are structured in a very intriguing way that just so happens to be some of those minute and situational weaknesses that they have. That's exactly why that we hung 31 on them last year and held them to 7. It's the exact same defense with the exact same defensive coordinator, exact same undersized personnel. This Buffalo Bills team is going to
win. All right, Dan. Tell you
this is it. Look. So the difference is like people are just like, oh, like look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were able to stop the run. That's because like their defensive front, thick, strong ass, big bodied downhill type guys, where the Denver Broncos are very undersized. In fact, I'm pretty sure that Buffalo has a 250 pound differential from their defensive front right off on our offensive line as well. So I think we're going to bully them in the trenches. And so I really do.
Okay.
And besides,
I got Buffalo winning this game.
And so besides, man, you want Bills Patriots AFC Championship. You know you do.
I want the
that
best
would be nice.
Team.
Well, I don't know if I want that because then that means one of them is going to the Super Bowl. But then the part of me that does want that because I would love to have an AFC East team at the Super Bowl that we're going to be at.
The AFC East team is going to the Super Bowl. It just ain't the Buffalo Bills.
You got New England going all the way?
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
But they beat your fraud team, Charger. Herbert so bad. Can we go back to that? Herbert.
No. We got a preview, man.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
It was just funny. Minutes into the episode.
It's just funny. All of a sudden, TD disappears for a week when Justin Herbert is trash, and then we get to talk about it. I was
about to say, man, like we can't afford a 30-minute Herbert segment, man. We got to move on.
Yeah, here's the thing about her.
No. I'm shutting it down.
All right, well, let's get into the next game. So I got Bills, Dan got Bills, TD got Broncos.
Yeah.
Shocker. Oh, I wonder who's got in the Patriots game. That's a weird one. Now let's get into that Saturday night game. Arguably the best game of the weekend, in my opinion. Seahawks, Niners, NFC West. Woo! Does Sam Darnold have what it take to beat up on the red-hot 49ers? They just beat them recently. Sam Darnold told Brock Purdy after they beat them, we'll see you in a few weeks. He was correct. Here they are in Seattle this time. You're talking about a first seed of Seattle that, in my opinion, is the most complete football team in the NFL on all three phases of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams. They are terrific.
It's the best team in the NFL.
I really do think they're the most complete team. The coaching staff is fantastic, but the Niners have a lot of issues on the injury front, and they were able to escape against Philadelphia. I think Seattle is the better team, so it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back. TD, who do you got in this one? A clash between the Niners, who have a lot of experience, Brock Purdy. You got McCaffrey healthy, Kittle's injured, taking on Sam Darnold and those Seahawks.
I hate the NFC side of things because these teams are so good. You don't know who's going to win these juggernaut games. I would love to have Seattle in this, but San Francisco, they just keep winning. And they however it happens, they're going to win. It's just what they do. But then, did Seattle rest too long? Did they get a little, lackadaisical just sitting there watching everybody else play? Could that be a factor? I don't know. Can Sam Darnold in the biggest game of his career actually perform well? I don't know. Here's what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. This game is not about X's and O's. I mean, I don't really see the advantages on either side of the football. It's just a matter of who executes the best consistently and who minimizes the mistakes. That's what it's going to come down to. I don't know why. See, this is another game. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers to upset the Seattle Seahawks in this game. I just love how they're playing right now, and it just feels like they're destined to go to the Super Bowl with nobody picking them to go to the Super Bowl. I got San Francisco. It's time for me to get on that bandwagon.
San Francisco hopping on the bandwagon, although that once again they add another injury. And it's very difficult for me to pick against San Francisco due to injuries because they've been winning with injuries all season long. They figure it out. But quite literally, this team is going into this matchup with only McCaffrey, and they're also going in there with who's their other wide receivers? Juwan Jennings.
Juwan Jennings.
It's Jennings and Christian and McCaffrey. That's it. And Brock Purdy, right? Banged up all over the damn. And so I like what Saleh brings, but I think the Seattle Seahawks team is going to win. It's going to be close and gritty like most of these games within, and so a division go, but I'm going to go with Seattle.
Yeah, and TD said something where, 49ers keep winning. Let's not forget, they had a chance to be the number 1 seed and lost to the Seahawks in Week 18. Yeah. And that was a big game. Now, just because the Seahawks won that game does not mean they guarantee to win again.
Who won the first one?
Niners.
Okay.
They split, I believe. Actually, I don't know. No, they had to be the Niners because they would have won the division if they won that game. So it had to be the Niners split.
Not necessarily. They just might have owned the tiebreaker. Let me see. Let me make sure.
I'm assuming they split. But man, I saw that this is the game, man. This is the opportunity for Sam to put on a display of who he is. And it's not just Sam, bro. This is the playoffs of opportunities for young quarterbacks to show who you are. Bo Nix is getting his opportunity. Caleb Williams is getting his opportunity and running away with it. Jordan Love had his, and he failed. Drake May's getting his opportunity. He's taking it, getting his first win. Justin Herbert had his opportunity. Now, Sam Darnold. Last year, completely laid the egg in the playoffs. What are you going to do against a division rival that you know very, very well? I think Seattle is just a more complete team. I think they're going to win on special teams. I think they're going to get enough turnovers forced on defense, and I think their offense is going to be opportunistic. I don't look at Sam Darnold thinking he needs to ball out to win. I think Sam could put up $175, 1 touchdown, and still win the game as long as their run game is the forefront because Zach Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker, legit 1-2 punch. JSN is a nightmare. Cooper Kupp. So I'm excited to see what this is going to look like because Sam Darnold's got to level up his game. And everyone keeps saying that Sam Darnold is this seeing ghost quarterback, but they're kind of forgetting what he's done this season and last year. But the big moments is where the big question mark is going to be. So give me the Seahawks in this one. And the 49ers are just too banged up to trust at this stage of
49ers, man.
Getting into the remaining games, Houston, New England. TD's got the Patriots by 40.
Not
Obviously.
39.
By 39.
By 39 points.
No, it's gonna be a tough battle, but the Patriots gonna win this one. I do see the Patriots running the ball and throwing the ball well on and remember, they're gonna chip away at the game. Just like last week, I felt like they just chipped away at the game. Just stayed consistent, kept playing their game, and then it just then they took off at the back end. Houston has had a great run though. Houston, but let's call it what it is. The last opponent, we kind of overestimated. They couldn't match up. This defense was pestering them, but New England will have something prepared for that. Even if Houston has great defense in this game, the Patriots will as well. They're going to keep on battling it out. Let's not forget the Texans, in my opinion, kind of struggled early in that Pittsburgh game too to find offense. It eventually came when the defense started making plays and really put them in better positions. The Patriots are just one of those well-rounded teams. I kind of see them the same as San Francisco. And Drake May, what more does he have to prove? What more does he have to prove? I mean, has there been any moment that was too big for him, really? No, I just don't think so. So I'm riding with the Patriots in this one. Good job, Houston. Good job, Houston. Nobody's going to be mad at you when you lose. You had a good run. Everybody wrote you off by week 5, and now look at you. So good season, but they'll be going home.
So the Houston Texans have a generational defense, a Super Bowl caliber defense. That offense, awful. That is such a bad offense, man. Holy hell. That is an awful offense, man. You have CJ Stroud, 5 turnovers. All right. Well, 3 actually. He lost 2 more fumbles, or he fumbled, I believe, 2 more times last week. It's just an awful offensive line. Oftentimes he does look lost out there. With Christian Gonzalez being out, that might be an interesting tidbit. I'm not sure if he clears the protocol, but it was just announced that Nico Collins is also going to be out during this game. So they are as spread thin as humanly possible when it comes in. And so when it comes into this, while I think that this defense is going to cause Drake May nightmares, I think that he's going to have a very similar game to what he had against the LA Chargers, because this Texans defense is like 2x what he just saw with the Chargers. Hot take, I think the Pats defense actually ends up scoring more points than the Patriots offense, and that's enough to win the game. 17-10 Pats.
Yeah, man. Like, we all slept on the Texans at one point, and look what happened. So I'm picking the Texans again, or against the Texans. I'm sorry. We picked against the Texans, and then look what happened. So I'm picking the Patriots, just like we all picked against the Texans on Monday. We're all picking the Patriots, which means we know what's going to happen Sunday.
Oh, have the Houston Texans.
And bro, I don't want to hear nobody like Colby's mindset. Like, these Patriots fans, like, or have that mindset of like being a victim. Like, oh, well, we're not supposed to be here, so we're playing with house money. You got the Houston Texans, and then a potential chance to go up against your division rival, the Bills, or the Broncos, of Bo Nix, who's a quarterback that was drafted behind Drake May. You have a chance to go to the freaking Super Bowl, bro. I hate that mindset. Why do they have that? I don't know. Because they're like, well, if we lose, it's not a big deal. Wow. I don't know. Maybe it's just a different mindset that they have because they have all these championship rings and they're just happy to be there because of year 1 with the system. I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe.
And the last game to preview.
Oh. So I have.
Ooh.
And so the Chicago Bears
calling up Matt
are
LaFleur
cooked.
like, yo, Sean, boy, tell me what I need to know about the Chicago Bears. See that?
So the Chicago Bears are cooked, man. They're cooked.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not even because of like how they play, because you know that I am a big Chicago Bears proponent. I have hopped on the wagon.
Yeah, you gotta explain this to me.
Guess who the head referee is?
Oh, damn, boy, damn be into
Who
these
cares?
referees.
That's the last thing I ever look at is who's ref.
Guess-
I don't even know one referee's name. Honestly.
Guess who the head referee is? His name is Sean Hockley. Sean Hockley, you'll probably wonder, okay, here's the thing. What would you say is the home team win percentage in the NFL this year? Say 53% home team wins. Guess what the home team win percentage is when Sean Hockley is the lead official? 37.5%. Only 37.5% of all home teams under Sean Hockley have won their football games this year. He has an incredible leverage toward home teams with penalties too. He's called 150 against home teams, and he has called only 100 against away teams. The Chicago Bears have an awful record with him. I think this game is going to be close, but I think that it's going to end with a completely bullshit pass interference call from the LA Rams, and they end up winning with a game-winning field goal. That's my take.
Wow. So the refs are deciding this one?
Yeah.
Damn,
you got to get Bob out of that room of yours, man. Too much in these ref theories.
If I'm going to follow a conspiracy, I'm going to go.
No. I'm not saying they're going to lose because of the refs. I don't put that in, but I do think that it does provide a bit of context to a game that we don't typically look at, right? Most of the stuff when I bring this ref stuff, it's true with this guy. He penalizes home teams more than away teams, and home teams are 3-6 when he is the head referee as well. So, while I'm not saying that he's going to determine the game, I think that that's an automatic big issue for Chicago, especially since they are also pretty high up in the league for penalties. So that's just kind of how I look at it.
Now, my question is what if it just so happens that every time he refs, the home team was just not disciplined and they just had a bad day? Do you think it's the ref that's flag happy, or just so happened to be the team that is home when he's reffing is in their head and they're making mental mistakes and just having some bad problems? And it just so happens to be that way, which creates that stat. That's how I look at it too.
He's been in the league for 10 years, I want to say. And it's a pretty known trend for him.
So it's beyond this year too?
It's beyond this year. With this year has definitely been his worst, but yeah, he's regularly down.
He hates those home teams, man. He hates the home crowd. He's like, yeah, you're happy. Watch this.
He hates home teams, man, for some odd reason. And so I do like the matchup. And so the Chicago Bears, they do take the football away. Most takeaways all season. They're going to have to really take advantage of a struggling Matthew Stafford. He's been struggling for the past couple of weeks. Is he going to cough the football up? And so the Chicago Bears can certainly do that. But how's Caleb Williams going to perform? Because right now, his only trusted target is Colson Loveland, who is a rookie tight end. He just ignores his perimeter receivers for some reason. That includes DJ Moore, and same thing with that. Knowing Sean McVay, I think that he's probably going to attempt to take away Loveland from the game, and I wonder if DJ Moore and Rome Odunze will be able to get it done for him. And they have to run the football on the LA Rams. Will they be able to? I don't know. But Rams 30, Bears 27.
Well, the Rams creeped into the playoffs with their performances in the regular season. They weren't they weren't doing very well. And the games that they won, it came down to the wire where they kind of pulled out heroics at the end, if you notice, right? There ain't no better heroics team at the end of football games than the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams. That's what it is. And I don't care who the Bears play right now. I'm riding with that energy and what the Bears bring. The Rams, I just feel like the Bears, they figure you out while they're playing you well. And then they pounce on you in the fourth quarter with all the things that they've been preparing to throw at you that they've been holding the entire time. The Rams, they just keep playing, but then they have these lulls where you ask yourself, what are they doing? They could start out against the Panthers dominant, then all of a sudden have 2 full quarters of what are you doing? and then come back at the end. You can't play that game with the Bears. The Bears are going to snipe you if they're close in that game at the end, and I think they're going to be close in the end, and the Bears are going to pull out yet another victory over the Rams. This team has arrived. This is the only team outside of that division that's in the playoffs, and they're going to the NFC Championship game. I do not believe in the Rams. They are a great team. I just feel like if I am going to talk about like a referee percentage or a potential conspiracy, it's the Matthew Stafford effect. You know, for some reason, they want him to win the MVP. They want him to go far and finish his storyline as one of the greats. And he is to me, but I think that comes to an end right now. I'm riding with the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams to get the victory and go to the NFC Championship game. And I have the score being 31-28 coming down to a thriller. Caleb Williams rolling right, game-winning drive back of the end zone pylon. Touchdown! Game over, Rams go home.
Oh,
49ers, Bears, NFC Championship.
Yeah, it's hard to, some teams have magic. Chicago Bears got that magic, man. They really do. You think they're done, they come back. Miracle stuff. You felt everybody was clowning Caleb Williams in the first half. He comes in the second half, 8 minutes left to go, 4th and 8, ridiculous throw. They're putting that little image of him throwing off platform next to the Michael Jordan logo, because it looked like the Air Jordan logo. It's hard, man. I think that Matthew Stafford is the MVP of the league. He's going to be ready to go. Sean McVay is going to be prepared. You know that I saw a wild stat? This is the Chicago Bears are the 15th or the 16th team that Sean McVay is facing off against in the playoffs. He's seen half the league in the postseason, Sean McVay, as a head coach. How's that even possible?
Half of the league. Wow.
Half of the league. That really goes to show you how long he's been in the league.
He's young, too. He's not even 40, is he? Is Sean McVay 40?
I think he may be 40 at this point. Low 40s.
He's 39.
Jeez, dude. Isn't that an insane stat? I saw that. I'm like, my goodness. That includes the Super Bowl teams he's faced off against. And obviously, he does not face off against the same team multiple times in the playoffs, as it seems. So, fun to see this matchup. I'm going to take with the Magic, man. I think I'm buying into the Bears. I think they're going to overcome the refs. I'll throw in the flags. And it's going to be tough, man. It's hard to bet against Sean McVay. I do have a lot of respect for him. I love him. Actually, one of my favorite coaches in the whole league. It's been that way since he came in. But I'm going to bet on Ben Johnson and the new coming Bears to be the magical story, because it would be great for the NFL if he gets into the Super Bowl. The Ben Johnson's Bears.
Damn. What can you do? What can you do? Ladies and gentlemen. And so is that active right now or no?
I don't know. Maybe it's not.
Throw the Josh Allen one up there for me. Throw the Josh Allen one up there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have partnered with our good friends over at Covered to give away a signed Josh Allen jersey. It is a very, very simple process, folks. All you need to do is download the Covered app. It's completely for free as long as you use code BALLDON'TLIE. And then what I want you to do is go on ahead and find the Josh Allen jersey contest right now. So they also have a signed Caleb Williams helmet. They have a JSN jersey that is signed. They have Super Bowl tickets as well in case you wanted to play for them. And it works pretty easy. All you have to do is enter the contest right here. And then you need to enter, and then you need to choose a game that you would like to play. As soon as when you end up doing this, you have 15 minutes to play this game each and every single day, racking up the highest possible score that you can, right? 15 minutes each and every single day. Whoever has the highest score by February 28th, I want to say, or February 13th, you get that Josh Allen signed jersey. Covered is an awesome personal finance app. It tracks each and every single one of your purchases, and you have an opportunity of winning some of your purchases back. So say that you just bought a flight. It costs about $225. You can play games like that to potentially have it won back and paid off to your credit card. Really fun way of looking at personal finance, and they're giving away a bunch of really cool stuff, and it's just based off of skill. Covered, link is in description. Use code BALLDON'TLIE so you can play once 15 minutes each and every single day. Shout out to Covered.
You guys, the link is right now in the chat. Click that link, download it with our link, and the code BALLDON'TLIE gives you free access every single day. So it costs money to go into these contests, but with our code, you'll be able to get in for free every single day and try to win not just a signed Josh Allen jersey, but other things out there. I put a bunch of links in the chat. They're all the same link. There's a link in the description. There's links in the live chat. You guys would do us a big favor just by simply downloading the app. It's free. You don't have to spend a dime. A great way to support our channel here at Roundtable Sports is not only hitting the like button and sending in super chats, but by downloading the apps and supporting the sponsors here on the channel. You killing it?
My top score is 995. I think I might be on the leaderboard.
On Cashy, on the bird?
On Flappy Bird, man. I'm bad. Dude, I'm so bad at this game. Anyway, guys, go check it out. Maybe you're better than I am. Regardless, let's lock in.
We'll see you guys next time. We appreciate everybody tuning on in here to the show. Let's get into our final little super chats. All right. Let me tell Ward, when he has a line like Miami, he is elite pocket passer with arm strength, not even fanboying. He just can't stay in the pocket in Titans. Yeah, that's what happens. You don't have infrastructure. You bend in the pocket prematurely. That's definitely something he needs to fix. Stop believing in Buff after they lost 31-13 to the Dolphins. Flicks has stopped his belief in the Buffalo Bills. JTL is now a member. Thank you so much. We appreciate that, brother.
JTL.
All right. We appreciate you guys. We're out. Enjoy the rest of your night. And let's go, Jets.